We are recording. I can see all of your faces. All right, we're gonna give everyone just about a minute as they enter the room here. As we do that, I'm gonna ask our panelists to do just a quick sound check, make sure everything's coming in okay. I can see you all clearly. I'm just gonna ask for your first name, last name, and organization. Tim, we'll start with you if you could provide that info, please.
Tim Ito, Marketing Nice Guys.
Look great as always, Tim. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ryan.
Bob, we'll have you do the same, please.
Yes. Hi, Bob Wiltfong, Marketing Nice Guys.
Always so melodic. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
And Bonnie, will have you do the same.
Bonnie Pandya, Marketing Nice Guys.
Fantastic. All right, let's get started. Thanks so much for joining today's webinar on video content strategies for your healthcare business. My name is Ryan Chang-Coco. I'm with the Physician's Edge and C-Surgeries and the founder of the Physician's Edge. And we're really looking forward to this presentation. This is, as a digital marketing person, this is a topic that we talk about often. There's many ways to do this incorrectly, but also a lot of great ways to do this right. And we've got 3 experts who can teach us some of those best practices. Before I introduce Tim, who can introduce Bob and Bonnie's background, as we looked at the list, we know that a lot of you are healthcare practitioners in healthcare systems in addition to entrepreneurs. So if you could just type in the chat of what you're hoping to learn today. How can video content strategies and any of these tactics help you with your job as a healthcare practitioner, as a healthcare leader, or potentially, you know, if it's a part of your business. So use that chat. Feel free to let us know what you're looking forward to learning and how it can help. And that'll help, you know, Tim and Bob and Bonnie kind of guide today's conversation. We'll leave a little bit of time at the end for Q&A. So feel free to use that Q&A function as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim Ito, who will introduce himself as well as the rest of the panel. So Tim, I'll turn it to you. All
right. Thanks, Ryan. All right. First, you know, we appreciate everybody showing up today for our webinar. We're really excited about this topic. It's a really great one, particularly for small businesses. And that's kind of how we're going to gear it. We're going to gear it toward people and organizations that don't have a ton of budget to do video. Okay, so we're going to walk through our agenda. First, we're going to, obviously, we'll introduce people. We're going to talk about why video and why now, and why it's important as you think about marketing your organization to use video. We're going to then kind of cover some basic tools, both for the mobile phone and then for laptops, if you're going to do it that way. What are some, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the types of videos you can execute. It's not going to be an exhaustive list, but it's going to be a little bit about each type of video that's going to help you become, help you do things effectively and market your business effectively. We'll talk about some of the nuances, how to light and shoot quality video, record great audio based on the video type. We'll talk, Bob is going to walk through a lot of stuff about post-production editing. On a desktop and then also on an iPhone or a mobile phone. And then Bonnie and I are gonna walk through at the end how to do a simple animated video. And then once you get the video done, we're gonna talk about how to distribute it to YouTube and some other places and some best practices there. And then we can jump into the Q&A. All right, with that, we're gonna jump right in. So my name is Tim Ito again. I'm the co-founder of Marketing Nice Guys along with Bonnie. Bonnie and I founded the firm about 6 months ago. And, you know, we're a marketing training and consulting company. And, you know, we're really I guess our primary mission is to really help you excel, whether you're an individual or a business, at digital marketing. And Bob is our senior advisor. Bob is he's a Renaissance guy. He's a family man. He's an actor. He's a content consultant. He is an author. He is actually he is the author of a recent book. I'm the co-author as well of the BS Dictionary, which is a great little book for talking about the origins and the histories of business speak. And for many of you may know Bob because he is also was a former correspondent on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He's worked with some of the great names in comedy, include obviously Jon Stewart. He's worked with Louis Black, Amy Poehler, Stephen Colbert, I want to say John Oliver too. Is that right, Bob?
John Oliver came after me. So
Yeah,
no,
okay.
not John
So,
Oliver.
but obviously he knows what he's doing when it comes to being on camera, and we're really pleased to have him here today. Okay, anything else, Bonnie? Did I miss anything there on our side?
No, I think you got it all.
All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk a little bit about video marketing. So why video marketing and why do it now? We're going to give you a couple stats here. 82% of all internet traffic this year will be video. That's a pretty stunning number, right? When you think about all the traffic that goes on the internet and all the things people read, whether that's news or whatever, 82% of all traffic is going to be video. What does that tell you? Well, that tells you that your consumers are consuming content in video format. And if you're not doing video format, you're probably missing out on a lot of opportunities there to market your business, right? So the second fact is that YouTube is the #2 search engine. Many of you may or may not know that, but Google is the #1 search engine, obviously. YouTube is actually the #2 search engine. So getting your content out there in front of people that are using that to find other videos is going to be important as well. And then finally, the last point is that video is the way content is consumed. As we said, it takes less time. It's easy to follow. We have an example of the video here, the Carbon Health app. And you know, this was actually a relatively straightforward video shoot. It's got 23,000 videos, 23,000 views. It was all visual, music, sound effects, and there was no voice in it, right? So it was actually relatively simple. They showed images, they showed video, and they just added some sound effects in post-production. It's actually a great example of a video you can do yourself. And that's kind of what our goal is here, right? For those of you who are, you know, who have budget, who have like tens of thousands of dollars and can produce video with a full production crew, that's going to be great, right? But for those of you who don't, we're going to show you a couple ways here. And what we want to do, I think our goal in this whole presentation is to demystify video for you, right? To kind of help you do it and learn how to do it so that it's not so foreign to you and that you can just think about diving in and then think about kind of how you want to produce it. Okay, with that, Bob, I know you want to talk about some of the equipment and tools you can use in this process, particularly for laptop office videos.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. The analogy I would give to people, Tim, if we're business owners of a restaurant, Tim is the guy who finds the property, who makes sure the restaurant's in a good location, decides menu. Bonnie is the guy who runs the books, knows how the money is used. And I'm the chef in the kitchen, the content creator who's making the dishes. So I'm going to show you some of the ingredients that I use to make my dishes, which is content, video marketing content. And that's what this screen is all about. So for laptop and office videos, I would suggest that you get a webcam. If you don't already have a quality one built into your camera or into your computer, you look at Logitech. The Brio Ultra High HD or high definition is a great camera. You really can't go wrong with anything that's Logitech branded. It's a webcam for video conferencing, recording, and streaming. The black one runs about $193 on Amazon or other outlets. A microphone, and I want to show you the microphone that I'm using right now, if it shows up, is the silver model of this microphone. It's the Yeti mic. Yeah. This Yeti USB mic, Tim is showing off the black version, is a great quality mic. It plugs into your computer and it ensures that your audio is very crystal clear when you record on your computer. And that runs about $128, maybe up a little bit if you go to Best Buy. The ring light that you can use, and I'll show you my ring light in a second, but it is this brand. It's a UBZ or a UB size rather, 10-inch selfie ring light. It's for $49. All your kids, if you have kids that are watching all the YouTubers, generally they have ring lights and they're cheap. So that's a good thing to have in your toolbox. Then you want to look at a portable green screen. An eMart green screen, collapsible, costs about $164. If you look at your screen, I'm going to take away my virtual background to show you this in action. So you see behind me is this portable green screen. And I'll raise up my camera so you can see it. It's raised up there. and it fills my background to make sure that when I put in virtual backgrounds, whether it be live on a Zoom meeting like we're doing today or on recording, that the background is nice when I put in the green screen background. And then finally, I want to look at Adobe Premiere Pro. That's a high-end editing platform that I'm going to show you later in this webinar that costs about $21 a month. With Adobe Premiere Pro and other editing platforms, you can do high-end, really quality, like looks like it's straight from Hollywood type editing if you want to go that way. You can also do a very bare bones edit, which I'm going to show you in a second, with iMovie on your phone. So those are the basic principles I would say as a chef making content in my kitchen, I would want as ingredients to make great dishes.
Right. Okay, and so that was for if you're just doing it in front of your computer and you're using a webcam and that's how you want to record your video. There's also equipment that you can obviously do for mobile video, right? And you know, what we would recommend, I think, as you think about mobile video is an iPhone X or better, right? It's got great quality video. It's going to produce, and you know, if you've got the equivalent on the Android side and the Google side, that's perfectly fine as well. But obviously for us, I think the iPhone X or better, probably you're not going to go wrong. You know, Bob talked about the ring light. I'm going to show you a selfie stick and a stabilizer. It's this, right? So this is an example of a smooth video stabilizer. And I've shot some video on this. What it can do is it can do a couple things. It can, obviously, if you're walking, right, and you want to talk into the camera, you can use this stabilizer. It's anywhere from $159 to $249. It also can be a stabilizer where it can sit and rest. And some of you can see this. It's got a place where you can actually rest it on a tabletop and film this way. And we'll talk about backgrounds, other things. And then Bob's going to walk you through the iMovie, right? So which is a free software on the iPhone that you can use to edit. Okay, so those are the things that you kind of need, I think, from the types of videos that we're going to show you. Obviously, you can use a lot more. There's a lot of other things you could do too there, but those are sort of some of the basics that are going to help you do this a little bit better. All right, video types. You know, this is not an exhaustive list of video types, right? But a couple of the different video types you can use, particularly as a healthcare business or other business that that's attending today, is you can do a few things. On the mobile side, right? Mobile phones are actually great if you have demos of physical product. And actually, Bob is going to show you, we're going to have a video where he's going to actually walk through that for you. Also, as we talked about, if you want to do selfies or introductions or other things, like you could just use this stabilizer, right? Selfie videos or introductions on the phone are going to be great as well. On a desktop, right, there's a lot of stuff you can do, right? You can do interviews. So if I wanted, you can use meeting software like this, right? So we can record an interview if it's just me, Bob, and Bonnie, me, Bob, Bonnie, and Ryan. It's an easy way. We're actually recording this webinar right now. It's something that you can do. You can record a lot of things this way. Talking head videos, these are where, and Bob is going to show you an example of a talking head video where it's just sort of straightforward, talking right into the camera. And you see a lot of people, a lot of small businesses do videos this way, and he'll show you kind of how to do it right with the right lighting, with the right setup, with the right background. And then there's going to be webinars where we're going to, obviously things like this, where you can obviously just shoot it directly with a laptop camera. You can record something. We're actually recording a video series right now on SEO where we're doing it just through Zoom, and we're having the PowerPoint shown and we're just talking right directly into a camera like this. So, you know, as you go forward, these are some of the types. And again, not an exhaustive list. There's a lot of other video types out there. If you need help developing them or thinking about them, that's kind of what we're here for as well. So feel free to contact us or reach out to us for that as well. Okay, so let's keep going. What we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate a few of these on a phone and desktop webcam. And what we'll discuss is planning and prep and planning first. We're going to talk about lighting and audio and then some editing techniques. So let's talk about prep and planning first. I think the big thing here, and, you know, Bob, I want you to jump in here as well, but, you know, you really want to plan anything you do in video, right? It's like any other content area. You don't just want to say, oh, let's do a video and let's just do it on this, right? You want to put some thought into it first, right? So we are going to cut directly to the practical information, which is how to do it. But you definitely want to make sure you set a budget, develop a plan and a purpose, right? Who are you targeting? What part of the buyer journey? You want to decide on an approach, right? Are you going to be funny? Are you going to be serious? Are you going to be informative, practical, right? And then you want to think about like that shoot type, right? Is it an interview style? Is it going to be a talking head? Is it going to be you in a selfie? Is it going to be, right? All those things you have to think about. Maybe it's not even you on camera. Maybe it's just images and where you're basically showing images and you're using music in the background and text on the video itself, right? So think about that and think about kind of what you want to do first, okay? If you are going to be on camera, and Bob, I want you to kind of talk to this one if you can, select someone who's good, right? Don't, you can't just, your video is important because you don't want somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Bob, you want to talk to that one maybe? And
yeah, I would agree with that. Authenticity doesn't just happen, and that's what reads on all these social media platforms today is authenticity. Authenticity happens through rehearsal and experience.
yeah.
The more comfortable you get in the platform, the more authentic and more real you can be. So yeah, I would lean on people that have that experience or that natural inclination to be on camera, to be their real selves or as close as they can be on camera. It's a nerve-wracking proposition to talk to a camera or to have all the lights on you. And I understand some people clam up. So yeah, I would lean on people that are natural hams, if you will, and have a little bit more experience in the work.
And that's where I think you could hire someone like Bob, right? Bob's an on-air talent, right? Or you can hire maybe somebody local, right? Somebody who's a professional. If you need that subject matter expertise, you can also think about doing an interview, right? Where you are doing the interviewing and you're asking somebody who's really good on camera to provide those responses as well, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about like location. What's in the background matters. We kind of say this a lot to people when we kind of help them on their video is that sometimes you see people shooting outside, but the background doesn't quite match the content they're talking about, right? So I think where you want to make sure is you want to be very good about choosing the right backgrounds. Noisy places aren't going to work well. Nicely lit places are going to work better than something that's more dark, right? And Bob, I don't know if you have much more experience with this than I do, but it's
yeah, I always tell people that I consult in the world of content creation to find a carpeted room rather than hardwood. Yeah. And master bedroom closets are excellent because they have all the clothes that cut down on echoes. And I would look for natural lighting. Yeah. Natural lighting facing you is the way to go. You don't want natural light behind you. I'm going to remove my virtual background just to drive home this point because I'm in my son's bedroom today. And what I've got is his window that's facing me. That's our neighbor's house. Oop, it just went away. But there you go.
Yeah.
So those are all conscious decisions to make sure that my sound is good and my light is good.
Absolutely. All right, and then lastly, and Bob can attest to this as well, you want to rehearse and prep any scripts. Like before this webinar, we obviously prepped and rehearsed a little bit, and we talked a little bit through who's going to say what. But even a professional like Bob, who's been on TV shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he's been obviously on The Daily Show, he rehearses, right? Yeah. He's a professional and he rehearses. So imagine as you as a not a professional in front of a camera, you got to rehearse. Bob, I don't know if you want to take that.
Yeah, the analogy would be, it'd be like me walking into if any of you are surgeons, walking into your surgery room and say, I think I'll take this knife and try to do some stuff here. I just don't have that experience. I don't have it. Right. So unless I apply myself to it, I'm not going to do it as well as a trained surgeon is.
Right. And I think for me, for example, for me, I often listen to myself on video and I often repeat the same words and I get annoyed with myself. Yeah. And if I get annoyed with myself, you can imagine what happens when others listen to me as well. So I think that's a good point. So, do some test runs, do some trials, see what you like, what you don't like, and then fix it and then keep practicing. Okay. All right. Let's go into Bob. I don't know if you want to take this, but let's talk about how to light a set.
Yeah, I would love to take this, Tim, because I do have a 3-point set.
Here. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
And then Bob is going to share his setup back there.
Okay.
Or he's going to show you his setup there.
Yes. So I've got to remove my virtual background, which I'm going to do one more time. And then just like I've done before, folks, I'm going to unhook my computer a little bit and walk freely here. So 3-point lighting is a professional way to light any interview that you're doing or any object that you want to light up and record nicely on video. And what I have over here is the setup for 3-point lighting. So 3-point lighting, and I'll show you in a second, but 3-point lighting is called 3-point lighting because it involves 3 lights. You have a key light, which is your main light, which I'm using a ring light for my key light for this subject. If you can see that ring light, this chair is where I might place my person that I'm interviewing. So the key light is the most direct light on your subject matter, okay? The second light in 3-point lighting is off to the left, as I stand here, off to my left, which we call a fill light. And this light I bought off Amazon. It's a prosumer light, if you will, meaning a professional quality light, but made for consumers, regular consumers. And this, when I turn it on, right there, gives a nice fill to the person I'm interviewing. So we avoid any shadows across their face because that key light can be strong on their face, and this lights up a nice even light source to their face. And then the final light in 3-point lighting is called the backlight. And this gives a very nice glow to the person that you're interviewing. So I've got a backlight back here, and I've turned that on. And what this does, it's just out of frame in my camera, so you can't see it on camera, but it gives a very nice glow or light to the top of the head and to the back of the person that's being interviewed. So 3-point lighting, if you really want to go all out, is a key light on the subject, a fill light off to the side, and then a backlight light them up in the back. So that's kind of what it looks like. Now, the cheat, or the hack, if you will, as the kids say these days, to doing this same effect is what the YouTubers do mostly, which is get a nice ring light and sit in front of some natural light and just blast your face. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. So there's a professional 3-point lighting way to do it that involves some equipment and some knowledge. And then there's natural light and a ring light that doesn't require a lot of knowledge. So there you go.
All right, great. Okay, so let's go back to our slide here. Bob, we have a couple questions. One is in this from the audience. One is about affordable music, sort of music banks, copyright-free music. Do you have any thoughts on that or ideas?
Yeah, I'm going to show you that in Premiere Pro when I do the demo for Premiere Pro. But the headline is this: if you own a YouTube channel, if you don't, do it, because when you're a creator on YouTube, you get access to a creator studio for your channel.
Yep.
And YouTube has a complete library of music that you can then take anywhere. And it's all copyright free. And it does different themes and different, anything you need. Now, if you want to go high-end music that's going to sound a little bit better, then you're going to have to pay a premium. But the thing I always go to is I go to YouTube Creator Studio and I pull free, copyright-free music all the time for my videos. I'm going to show you that when I demo Premiere Pro.
Yep. And then the second question, and maybe Bob, this is a good one for you too, is from Alex Tremble, and he asks, what if you don't want to sound so rehearsed? You rehearse, and then you come out sounding overly rehearsed.
Yeah.
Is there such, as an actor and as somebody who gets in front of the camera a lot, is that a thing? Is that something you should worry about? And how do you avoid that?
Yeah, that's an astute observation, because that's a real thing. Yeah, there's an adage in acting from that experience that you rehearse, and then on the audition, you forget everything. And the idea is that you want to be organically in that room and just feel the vibe and speak to the needs of your audience. So for instance, Tim mentioned, we've done some rehearsing, right? We've done our practice of here's what we want to talk about, but we're allowing your feedback in the chat room and what you're giving us in this webinar to guide what comes out of our mouth next. So the key is rehearse, but then get to the point where you're open to any changes in the moment. Easier said than done, but that's the goal.
Yep. Okay. Let's keep going here. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the recording of a physical product on a phone. We're going to show you a demonstration. Bob literally has done a video for us that we're going to watch with you as we go, and it's going to be about 9-10 minutes. So it's going to be it's going to go quick. Next, Bob is going to show you a demonstration of a talking head video. So somebody speaking directly into the camera, and then some simple editing techniques you can do if you get Adobe Premiere Pro, and kind of how to do that. And then after that, Bonnie is going to show us, Bonnie and I are going to show you a little bit about developing an animated video. So recording an audio track, how to do that, and then using animation software to develop the animation and syncing the audio, right? And it's a pretty straightforward process. And but with that, Bonnie, why don't you, I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to play the video of Bob and we'll show it to the audience here.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. Share, let me know when you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hi, this is Bob Wiltfong. I'm going to show you how to shoot great quality video on your iPhone and then use that video to create great marketing content via the free app iMovie on your iPhone as well. We'll start the process by showing you how to shoot a simple video sequence on your iPhone. In this video, we're going to be capturing the stapler, a new product from our company. And so ideally, we want a repeatable action that we can shoot over and over again. In this one, we have me doing this action. We capture the wide shot first, capture a wide shot, and then notice we repeat the action for a medium shot. We get a little bit closer, change the angle, same action, and this will help us edit these shots together so it looks like one continuous action, even though we've shot it 3 different times. Here again, now our close shot. We've done wide, medium, now close. Get the repeatable action, me writing on the paper, and then the close shot of stapling. Then I'm going to get some stills. Same premise, but this time I'm going to work in reverse. I get the close shot, then the medium shot, and then the wide shot. Finally, I want to shoot an intro and an outro. This is video of me welcoming viewers at the beginning of the video and then taking a beat and shooting the close or the outro of the video. I'm doing this by mounting my phone horizontally and looking at the webcam. Now that we've got the photos and the video clips onto our iPhone, we're going to use the free app of iMovie to put all of this stuff together in a great marketing content video clip. Here's how you do it. Open up your iMovie app, and it will take you to a page that says projects, and you'll see a plus sign there. Click on the plus sign, and then click on movie. Don't worry about trailers for now. From here, I want you to click on the upper left-hand corner where it says media. And I want you to recognize that there are video and photos that you can possibly access here. They're categorized in different ways on the phone. I'm going to go into the video library, and I'm going to first try to identify what my intro and outros were, and that's this clip. Now notice this yellow bar highlights that clip when I do it. I can scrub this either way to get to the clips that I like. And here I adjusted my hair on the second take. My hair's a little crazy. I like it a little bit better when it's laid down. So I'm just gonna edit out that junk video before it. And then I'm gonna squeeze this last part of the yellow bar at the end so I don't have to deal with me kind of gathering myself after I say goodbye. And that's the part of the clip that I want to put into my timeline. So I'm just going to now click the check mark, which means that it will go into my edit. From there, I am going to click another clip. This one is it looks like the wide shot of me using the stapler. So I'm going to just click on that. I don't need to edit that right now. So I'm going to put that in the timeline. Then I'm going to do the medium shot of me using that stapler. I'm going to click on that. And then finally the tight shot of me using that stapler. I'm going to put that in. So all of those are going to be my video clips. So I'm going to put those in. And then before I click anything, I'm going to go over to media again, and I'm going to go to my photos. And I'm going to recently add my recently added collection of photos there. And I'm going to click the wide, medium, and close of the staplers, the stills that I like. I like this one. I like this wide. I like this medium. So now it says at the bottom of the screen that I can create the movie at the very bottom. So I press create, and it will automatically create an edit in iMovie for me using those videos clips and those stills. And if I run my finger along the edit, it will take me to the very beginning. And now I press play. Hi, we'd like to introduce you to our brand new stapler, fresh off. And it's showing me the very first clip, which is the intro. Okay, here's the deal though. I want to now put this in order. So first off, let's edit this first clip to get rid of the stuff I don't need. So I'm going to go to the original clip here that I just duplicated, and I'm going to use the scrub bar, the yellow bar, to let me know where I need to be. It looks like I'm at the very beginning, so I'm just going to play this to make sure. Hi, we'd like to introduce you to. So that I know. Now I'm going to go to where I stopped talking here, the intro, which is right about here. And I'm going to use the scrub bar, but the opposite direction to get me back to that. That's the end of my intro. So that's my intro, okay? Now, let's go to the outro and move that to the very end of the piece. So I do the same process. I click on it, I get the yellow bar that allows me to edit this, and I'm gonna get it down to the end. Here I collect myself and I'm saying the end, I know what I shot. Okay, so that's the beginning of the end, my outro, if you will. And I'm going to scrub this to the very end of where I say goodbye, before the camera loses my eyes. And there, I think I've got it. So I'm going to move this back and just make sure. We hope you enjoyed that preview of our brand new stapler. We're awfully proud of it. Please connect with us on our website for more information. And I have it. Okay, so now I'm going to check out what I'm doing. Here's how I'm going to move clips within the sequence. I'm just going to hold my finger on that and see how it kind of raises it up. Now I'm going to drag it all the way to the end, because that's, I know where it goes at the end. So here again, we hope you enjoyed that preview of our brand new stapler. We're awfully proud of it. Please connect with us. So now I have my intro and my outro, my bookends. Now let's say I wasn't happy with that edit. Here's what I can do is I can go to this arrow icon up here. That will undo any changes I made. So what it did is it didn't move this outro, but I like it where it was at, so I'm going to move it back. But that's how you can undo anything you do in the timeline. It's just that back arrow key. What a stapler can be. Check it out. I'm playing the intro now, and I noticed that the transition into the next clip, I don't like the dissolve. So I'm going to change the transition. How do I do that? I actually tap on the transition icon there. And then you see here at the bottom, it gives me different things I can do. So maybe I like to do slide to slide. So that's a different transition. So watch this. Check it out. Okay, so that's how I change my transitions. Again, this arrow key up here would change it if I wanted to. And I want some music to kind of liven this thing up. That's really cool in iMovie. You can do this. So let me show you how to add a music bed to your videos. So go to the plus button. Click the plus button and you'll see that it has audio as a possible selection for you. I want to click on audio and then go to soundtracks. And here you see iMovie has a complete library of different soundtracks you can use copyright free for your video edits, which is pretty cool. And I can test them here. I can sample them before I put them into my edit. I want this to be kind of motivational, maybe. Let's see, action, holiday events. Modern. I like modern. Modern may fit the bill. So I'm going to listen to it here on my phone. Yeah, that does it. That's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to press the add. And notice how it drops it in now to the edit. But watch this, iMovie is really smart. It adjusts the audio levels based on if you have a video clip that's the lead of your edit, that audio will take precedent, will play in the foreground over your music bed automatically, which is pretty cool. So watch this. Hi, we'd like to introduce you to our brand new stapler. So the music is playing underneath, this thing reinvents how great a stapler can be. Check it out. when I go to stills, you'll see later in the edit, the music will rise in level to become the foreground when there's no audio for stills. So let's put some stills in there. I love this beauty shot of the stapler. I'm going to pick this up and move it where I want it, which is right after my intro, right after this. And now watch this and listen to this. Stapler can be, check it out. Notice how the music rises there to become the foreground because there's no audio track on that still. I got a close, wide, medium, close still sequence to start off my piece after the intro. And then I'm going to introduce some video clips just to get the thing moving a little bit. I'm going to click on the clip that I want to put a title on because I mentioned the website. So maybe putting up the URL of the website to match my words might be helpful there. So I've selected that clip, and now you see this T icon down there for text, the text tool. I'm going to click on that, and here it gives me a variety of different titles I can put in. And I like this. I try to keep these simple, but just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to do pop-up. So I press pop-up, and then here I can edit it. And I'm going to put in our website.com. And maybe I want to change the color. I just click on this color wheel. And let's say I want to do it more this color. Okay, that works for me. And then the cool thing is I can drag it wherever I want to. So I want to put it lower third, like that. And let's back it up and see how that plays. We hope you enjoyed that preview of our brand new stapler. We're awfully proud of it. Please. Now say I want that title to stay even longer. So here I'm just clicking on full clip duration. That's how I get it to last the full clip duration. Now the last thing I want to do, I'm going to press on this gear icon in the lower right hand corner because there's a couple of things I always like to do with my video. It's fade up from black and fade into black at the end. So I'm just going to select those. And now I'm done. So I just press done and it goes here to my file. I'm going to name it, I'm going to press done. And then I'm going to press this transfer icon. I'm going to save it to my videos. So now it's exporting that movie clip onto my phone. So now I can send it wherever I want to. It's an email attachment on social media, on my website. Wherever my phone goes now, that thing will be on there. And that's it, folks. That's how we did it. We did that video pre-produced because of the Zoom and the difficulty of showing you that live via my phone. So that's why that was pre-produced. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, and I think next, Bob, you're going to go right into the next one, which is the demonstration for sort of that straight on talking head type video, right? And
yeah, so talking heads, yeah, let's do that right now. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. So look at my screen. And what you will see is me going into Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is a higher end editing platform than iMovie. It allows you to do more professional looking video edits. It is a learning curve like all platforms, but there are great YouTube tutorials about this very platform and other editing software. So hold on to that. You can do this. And I'm going to show you how to create a talking head video that's green screened in Adobe Premiere. I've created a sequence in Adobe Premiere, if you can see my screen now, that has a green screen sample of me talking as a talking head. And I will play this and let's see if the audio cooperates here. I'm going to back this up for you because in this clip, in this soundbite that I'm going to play for you, it gives you the parameters of the guidance of how to shoot talking head videos. So listen as I play this. This is a talking head. Excuse me just for a second. Let me take this out. Now you should hear it better. Video soundbite. Notice the framing. It's basically from mid-chest up with a little bit of headroom and a little bit of room on the sides. I want you to notice what I'm doing with my eye line. Traditionally in talking head interviews, the person looks at the interviewer and not at the webcam when they deliver it. You can do it either way. Traditionally, This is the eye line off to the side of the webcam. The lighting is very important, not only for the person being interviewed, the talking head, to be well lit, but also make sure that the green screen behind them is uniformly lit as best as possible. That will make your green screen effect at the end much easier. Trust me, light up this whole thing uniformly. I have a ring light and some natural lighting from outside that is lighting me right now. Finally, the thing to consider about talking head interviews or sound bites is you have to have good audio. This sound is picking up from my iPhone right now. Close enough, I feel comfortable with this sound. But in noisy situations, or if there's great distance between me and the person I'm interviewing on camera, I would definitely look into buying an attachment microphone, a high-end microphone that you can simply attach it into your iPhone. You can do it through lavalier clips or boom mics even, if you go to that extent, just to make sure your audio is clean and crystal clear on your iPhone. And those are the basics of talking head video soundbites. Okay, so you have the basics of the video. Now let me show you how we're going to green screen this in Premiere Pro. It's a three-step process that involves some effects. Premiere Pro, unlike iMovie, I should stress, has a very cool way to do green screen and picture-in-picture pretty easily. So play with that. But in Premiere Pro, you've got to do some effects that are put into clips. So over here, I'm going to my effects panel, and I'm going to look for three things. I'm going to look for the crop effect, which I'm going to drag down into the raw video that I shot of me on the green screen talking there. Put that in. Then I'm going to do an ultra key effect. Spell it right. Ultra key. And then the final effect I want to put in to do the green screen on Premiere Pro is auto contrast. And I put that all onto the raw video of me talking in front of the green screen. Once I have that in, then I can do some green screen magic. So I highlight my green screen video clip in the timeline. That's why this is highlighted down here. And then I go over to the effects panel. And what I'm going to do, I've already cropped this green screen. So I cut out some of the garbage on either side of it and cropped it using this crop feature down here where my cursor is circling right now. And then what I'm going to do is go to my ultra key effect. That's why I put that effect in that clip. And I click on this color picker icon right here. And I go to this green and look what happens here. See how that eliminates the green screen and now it becomes the logo behind me? But notice the shadow behind me. I don't really like that. I want that to look a little bit sharper. So what do? Come back over here to the effects panel, follow my cursor, and you see where it says composite. I'm going to click on the arrow and get to alpha channel. And what that does is gives me a black and white image that I can work with now, that I'm not distracted by, the real person and the logo I'm trying to drop in. So what I'm going to do is then click on matte generation, and I'm going to play with these qualities of the green screen effect. With transparency in general, I look for a 37. It is generally good. And notice what happens to my black and white image as I plug in these numbers. On highlight, I keep it at 10 as I'm moving down here with my cursor. On shadow, I like 52. Generally, it's just a little touch up from 50, the default number. In tolerance, I like to go to 20 as the starting off point. And then with pedestal, this is the biggest change. Pedestal, I usually go to 100 on. Okay, so and notice what's already happened with the black and white image over to the right. Some of that shadow has eliminated itself, right? So if I play with transparency here, I toggle up the qualities, I want you to notice that some of the image changes on the green screen, right? So I wanted to make it black and white. I'm pretty comfortable with where it's at now. So I go back up to alpha channel, follow my cursor here in the effects panel, and I put it back to composite, and there. Now you see me in a full green screen effect where it's me with my logo behind it. So I'm going to play that. This is a talking head video soundbite. Notice so there you go. And then the final thing I do is maybe I want some music underneath it. So I found this music through my YouTube Creator Studio, and I just like this music as a bed. So I'm going to pull it down. Look at my little cursor. It turns into a hand. It's a drag and drop system. I'm going to put it down here underneath the audio. I'm going to use my cursor again to squeeze it so it matches. It's the same time. And then the little thing I can do with my audio is I can really put my hands on it where I want it to fade up and fade down by the effects panel. So I do that here. And what I do is my volume. So level here where I'm at, I'm going to put in a dot there, and I'll show you in a second how that affects things. I'll put in a dot here. I'm going to open this up. And now what I can do is fade this down. Notice how I'm using those dots to fade down the audio. And let's have it up first so you can hear the difference. Now watch this and listen to the difference of the fade. This is a talking head video soundbite. Notice the framing. It's basically from mid-chest up with a little bit of headroom and a little bit of room on the sides. I want you to notice what I'm doing with my eye line. So two things there. Notice that the audio level went down because I adjusted the audio level, and also notice that my hands went away in the green screen. So that's a really important point. If you're going to shoot on green screen, be aware that you can't go off the green screen because your hands are going to disappear. So you got to live in this area. And that's my demo of how to do green screen with a talking head video in Premiere Pro.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Bob. And I think the point of us kind of showing you this is that, you know, like we said, we want you to think that you can actually do these things. And if you can't do them, or if you don't want to do them, they're actually, a lot of the things that we're talking about here can be done relatively easily, right? So, and that's, I think, the point we want to get across is that you shouldn't be afraid of jumping in and doing video. And I think that's what happens at a lot of companies that don't have a lot of budget, right? They can't hire a crew. Crews can be expensive, $6,000 a day. And then you have all the post-production costs. Like a single video can run you $10,000 easily, right? So how can you produce it on your own? And I think what we want to encourage you is to kind of get out and learn a lot of these different things that can help you better market your business. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I want to share something, a tool, and we're going to walk through quickly kind of how to do an animated video. And I don't know if you can see the Audacity. Can everybody see the Audacity screen there? Okay, yeah. So I download this tool called Audacity. And what we're going to show you is a couple part series. Bonnie and I are going to walk through this. Is, you know, for a lot of what you guys have to offer, products and services, other things, animated videos are actually well within your reach. And here's an example of one where we basically write a script. We record an audio track for that script. And then we pass that audio track to software that can put it into an animated format, right? So if a lot of you have what they call faces for radio and you don't want to show your face, but you think you can kind of talk to it, right? You can do it easily through a few-step process. Okay, so what Bonnie and I do, we think about kind of the challenges and pain points of the audience, right? This is what we try to do. And then we kind of write a script to talk about how our product or service helps solve those challenges or pain points, right? So what we do is, let's say Bonnie and I have written a script. I go over here to Audacity, and all I do, and this is just this simple. When you open up the tool, Audacity is a free download. You can find it on the web really easily. When you find a free download, you can just hit record. So I'm recording what I'm saying now. I'm going to hit stop when I'm done, right? And then if I want to play back, I can play it back. I'm recording what I'm saying now. I'm going to hit stop when I'm done. Okay. And let's say I like that. Okay. I've done a really nice audio file. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to save it because you save the project in actually Audacity. What I'm going to do is I just want to export it, right? And I'm going to export it to MP3, right? And I'm just going to, let's say I save the file, I'll title it, do it, save it to my desktop. Okay. So I've got this file now, right? And then I send it. So once I have the file, I'm going to send it to the wizard himself, Bonnie. And Bonnie is going to show you how to take that audio file and then turn it into an animated video. Bonnie, you want to take it?
Yeah. And I wouldn't call myself a wizard, but thank you, Tim.
Yeah, you are the wizard, Bonnie. I think you're a wizard.
Yeah. So once we have the audio file, what we use is we use this animation software called Doodly, and this is if you guys want to create an animation, which is great for explainer videos, intro videos. If you have a product, if you have any service that you want to just explain quickly in like a 1 minute, 1.5 minute sort of thing, then you can create this animation. And then what this Doodly does, similar to iMovie, it has the timelines where you can add the audio track, you can add a soundtrack to it, and then you can lower or increase the volume of the soundtrack based on the scenes. So the audio file that Tim provides, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in the timeline here, which I've already done. And then the software provides all these characters that you can use, and you can create this animation, and then you can create scene by scene following the audio where you want what animation to show. Now, I can go in detail, but I know we're only 10 minutes left in the webinar, so I'm going to move real quick here, and I'm going to show you a sample that we have created, which is also kind of like a snapshot of one of the marketing help desk services that we provide our customers. So I'm just going to play that, and you can see how the animation is created using the animation software.
Tell us if this sounds familiar. You're an entrepreneur or a marketing leader managing a small marketing team. Maybe you're responsible for bringing in more revenue.
Hey, Bonnie, we're still in Doodly.
But your campaigns aren't getting the results you want.
Yep.
Wouldn't you love to have an expert help you improve the results? You don't need an expensive full-time professional. You just need a little guidance, some hand-holding,
And I'm going
There you go.
you guys see it now? Okay.
Tell us if this sounds familiar. You're an entrepreneur or a marketing leader managing a small marketing team. Maybe you're responsible for bringing in more revenue from paid marketing and SEO, but your campaigns aren't getting the results you want. Wouldn't you love to have an expert help you improve the results? You don't need an expensive full-time professional. You just need a little guidance, some hand-holding, and training. That's where we at Marketing Nice Guys can help. Our marketing help desk gives you fast access to expertise, where you can get guidance on optimizing campaigns, discuss marketing strategies and tactics, or just dig into any details you like on implementation. You and your team will be able to schedule consulting calls, conduct live chats, or submit marketing questions directly to our experts. Moreover, you'll get access to the self-service tools and tips and regular content, as well as SEO and paid campaign audits to discover more areas of improvement within your marketing efforts. Our experts know all the tricks to help you improve your marketing performance so you look like a champion in front of your CEO, or, well, maybe just the mirror. Contact us at contact@marketingniceguys.com or visit the URL below for more information on our 3 help desk options. Don't be shy. We're the nice guys after all.
All right.
Yeah, so not bad, right? So if I share my screen again and go to Doodly, so we.
All right, so that said, let's go day by day. So day number 1, tell us some questions like what, like,
hold on.
how do you do that? Like, what are the things you're thinking through as very first email that someone's getting when they first get your lead magnet?
So the very first email is
Tim, you want to take it over?
right? It's
Yeah, I'll take it over. All right.
and
All right. So we're gonna go finish off here. We've kind of run through those 3 demonstrations. I think the big thing to point out here is that, if you need help with any of these things, we can obviously help you, right? We know we've done these different types of videos. We work with crews. Obviously, Bob's great in front of a camera. If you need on-air talent, if you don't like, for example, I don't like my voice, even though I did that. I'm a little nasally. Bob's really obviously the guy that can deliver this really professionally. But I think that's where, we can help you at least start on these things and get you started. So I think the other thing is, don't think this is beyond your reach, right? And that's the point we're trying to make here, is that you can do a lot of this yourself, which is kind of the idea behind the whole webinar. All right. So now once you've got these videos, and it doesn't matter if it's one of the 3 videos that we've kind of shown you how to do, or if it's a different type of video, I think the big thing we see that happens with a lot of organizations, they make the mistake is that they don't distribute it, right? They create a video, they create any piece of content, and then they don't put it places where people can find it, and they don't promote it, right? So I think for you guys, when you do this, right, you should definitely distribute to your website, to YouTube, and we'll talk a little bit more about YouTube here in a second. Email and newsletters, content, you should embed the video into content and blogs. Obviously, social media, right? You've produced a piece of content, put it in social media, put it in LinkedIn, put it in Facebook, put it in Instagram. You have to shoot certain types of video for Instagram because of the portrait dimensions. But those are things that you think. Put it in product pages. So if you've got a demo video, right, put your video of the product on the product page itself, right? Those types of things will help you increase sales because people have confidence that your product works, right? Paid media. A lot of times people don't think of distributing content or video to paid media, but there's a lot of organizations that do, and they promote only paid media. Offer up the video to healthcare or industry blogs. Especially if you're doing something very practical or helpful for general audiences in the healthcare space, you can offer that video up and say, hey, I got a video on that. Would you like to embed it in your story on this, right? And if they find it's a really high quality video, you get even more distribution, and you get distribution to, let's say, your YouTube channel and other things where you get more views for it. So let's keep going. YouTube is going to be a big area for you in video, right? It's the 800-pound gorilla in video. A few best practices that you want to make sure that you take on. Longer video descriptions. A lot of the advice that you get about the internet in particular is keep it short and sweet. With YouTube, especially video, you want to write longer descriptions. Why? Well, because from an SEO standpoint, you are going to have content that you want people to discover. So you want to write with all those high value keywords in the description. A lot of people, they post a video and then they kind of do a little mini description and forget about it. That's not good, right? If you take the time to do the video, you should take the time to write a really good description about what it's about. That will help people discover it because obviously people search for different videos on different topics. You want to optimize, and this is again related to the point one, you want to optimize around the video keywords, right? What are those keywords? You get ranking in YouTube and Google is great, right? But ranking in both is even better. So I think as you think about it, what are those keywords that are going to help you rank in those core areas in both Google and YouTube? And remember, Google has a video search that a lot of people use. So ranking there's a lot of things you can do. We won't get into all the details. This is not an SEO webinar, but there's a lot of things you can do there as well. You want to share the video liberally in online communities, right? This will hook your video. We talked about that, right? Industry publications. You want to get the video out there, especially if you're creating quality content that helps the customer, right? If it helps your customers, it probably helps other people too. So think about it that way, and then make sure you share it. A few last points. Encourage subscribing. We can't say this enough. YouTube is built on subscriptions to your channel and regular content. So if you're going to go down the video road, be a content machine. Produce it often. Produce it regularly. And then lastly, there's a way here, we talk about a way here to subscribe in the video itself. You can actually add a button to all your videos, which we do on our channel, that helps people subscribe to us should they want to subscribe. And then they get alerts about new videos that we post and other things like that. And then finally, keyword-rich playlists. YouTube has the ability to separate the videos you do into playlists. Well, having that keyword as the name of that playlist itself will help Google and YouTube discover your content and your videos even more. Okay, so that's a quick overview. I know we're kind of we're right at time. We'll take some questions right now if anybody has any. for those of us who, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at tim@marketingniceguys.com or bonnie@marketingniceguys.com. We provide a lot of different services on the marketing side. In video, we do everything from video scripting. If you want to get in touch with Bob, we can obviously help you do that. For on-air talent, we do a lot of development, strategy, other things like that, especially around video. And we have these other services as well. We hope that's been useful. We can probably take, Ryan, what do you think? Should we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Questions?
Yeah, let's do it. And yes, someone asked if the recording of the session will be available. Yes, I'll provide it to the team here. We'll share it on the Physicians Edge page, but anyone who's registered will also get access to the recording after. Tim, someone mentioned, would love your thoughts on this, Bob, you as well. Someone joined us to do recruitment marketing for, how to utilize video there, but just any general thoughts on where you would start by using video and recruitment?
Bob, you want to take that one first, and then I can take it?
Yeah, where my mind instantly goes as background too, as a former TV news guy. I did reporting and anchoring in local TV news for 10 years. So the power of just telling your story in a testimonial, what your company is about, and having your people talk to, prospective recruits, what your company is about, why it's a great place to work, and put them on camera, and then share that in social media and on your website, testimonials.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, keeping it on a low budget. In the old days when we used to go to the office, I think the other piece you can do too is you could think about kind of filming some things, again, making sure you film it in great light, but places in your office, other types of things. So if you don't have access to people on camera right now, I mean, it's a great idea from Bob. What you can do is you can kind of walk through like what the office looks like, and then kind of do a voiceover, right, for that type of thing as well. So if it's a medical office and, you want to just show kind of the setup of it or whatever it is, right, you can kind of show that and show kind of do it through text and audio rather than and then visuals, rather than doing a lot of stuff where you have necessarily someone on camera. That's another option for you as well.
Fantastic, thank you. Tim and Bob, since both of you are using external Yeti mics, Liz asked, are there any tips on laptop settings when recording audio from an external mic? She'd used the Zoom interview, but the audio wasn't recording when connected with the lavalier mic. So just any general tips, tricks, or anything she should be looking out for as she's setting those up?
Yeah, I have two initial thoughts on that. One is YouTube videos are great for that. Type it into a search and you'll get some good tutorials. We also provide that service too, if you so choose. And the for in-depth how to troubleshoot your specific problem. The other thing is go to system preferences on your laptop and check your audio settings. And it'll give you a menu of what kind of inputs and outputs you have on your computer, and experiment with them. Click one thing and get somebody on a Zoom to practice with you and see if they can hear your lav mic before you go live.
Absolutely. And I just echo what Bob says there. Your audio settings, believe me, I have to play with this all the time because my son goes back and he messes up all my audio settings when he uses this computer. So I have to go back and kind of look at the settings to make sure that they're right what I want. And remember, your settings are different also for different platforms. So if I go into Google Meet, my settings are different from Zoom and other things because they're the default of the last thing I used. And if you have speakers you use, if you have other things you use, just make sure that you're set up properly ahead of time, right? A good thing to use, for example, if you're on Zoom, is using the test audio. And then you can test and make sure that you have the right setting for the mic and everything like that.
Yeah, one thing I had to do to improvise today, even with the Premiere Pro edit that I was playing back for you, I held up my Yeti mic to my external speakers.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, it was being wonky today.
Yeah.
The last thing, Tim and Bonnie, this one's for you guys. I know there's a lot of questions on creating those whiteboard videos, animation videos, and so forth. Those are really cool looking. If I heard the steps right, it's you do the script first, you storyboard it, then you record it, and then you back into it with the graphics. Is that right? Or are there other ways to approach this? Any best practices you can share?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it and then Bonnie can kind of chime in too. I think for us, it's the scripting and the kind of the storyboarding, and you're thinking about what you want to do in it, is going to be key up front as you script it, right? So for me, when we write these things, and Bonnie can attest to this, we go back and forth and say, oh, should we say this? Should we say this? Or is this the issue we're trying to address? Is this the issue we're trying to address? And then once we kind of figure that piece out, we'll script it. We try to do it around a minute. You know, sometimes I'm a little wordy, so we go a little over. But generally, that's kind of how we approach it. And you'd be surprised, like how little text fills up a minute of audio, right? So I would say 2 paragraphs and you're almost at a minute of audio. Bonnie, I don't know if you want to add to that as you.
No, I mean, you covered most of it. One thing I would say is, what is the goal for the animation video? You know, think of it from that point of view. What I've noticed is they're great for explain their videos, introductions, you know, kind of just telling the story or what the problem your product and service is solving. So that is the key, and then create your script accordingly. I wouldn't keep it more than 2 minutes, you know, unless and until you're doing a very detailed explanation of a particular thing. Otherwise, you know, something around 1 to 2 minutes, that's a good time duration for those videos. And then, yeah, just narrow down your script and then just create the video, export it out, and you'll have it.
Yep, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything and had some time for Q&A. So Tim, Bonnie, Bob, the Marketing Nice Guys, thank you so much for an awesome presentation. We really appreciate it. And think all of us, including myself, have learned a ton. So thank you so much for that. Again, this will be recorded, will be distributed on the TP and C-Surgery sites, as well as the Marketing Nice Guys site. So feel free to reach out to any one of these gentlemen. Tim, do you want to go back 1 slide just to make sure everyone has your info?
Sure. That's here, let me go there. There
you go. And that's how you can get a hold of everyone, and they're all on LinkedIn as well. So Tim, Bonnie, Bob, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan. It was fun.
Guys, thank you.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye.